All right, this is where we're at. I put all the handles on the drawers, cabinets. Did all that yesterday. I cleaned this all up. And Valentina came in last night and sanded. She was supposed to seal the floor, but we were out of sealer. We didn't know it. So I went and bought sealer this morning. I also got the handles on the doors in the bathroom cabinets, and I figured out how to adjust them so they came up. They were gapping this much on the edge. So that's fixed. These are curtain rods for up here. So we're supposed to be doing that pretty soon. I was supposed to be working on building this today. That's what we're using for couch material. But because she wasn't able to seal it, I can't build on it yet. So instead, went to Home Depot this morning and spent a lot of money, way too much money. I'm going to try to make homemade chairs for this. This is all homemade. By the way, this might be kind of corny. I don't know. I don't like it because you can tell that it's just a 4x4. However, something I kind of learned kind of came to my mind while I'm doing this. If you realize that you're having a little bit of a rustic look, because this is kind of a country home, beach / homesteady, it's got a couple things going on. It's not that bad because Valentina is going to sand these down a bit and she's going to paint them this color. So you're not going to really tell. Yes, you'll be able to tell it's 4x4, but it'll look good. It's not going to look like I have fence posts on the bottom of my table. We decided to do chairs with butcher block seats, which made this a very expensive project. And I'm going to try to do something similar, but I didn't want to do 4x4s. I feel like that's way overkill for the chairs, put 4x4. So I got 2x3s, and I'm going to reinforce it with 2x2s. I'm going to figure out some pattern, but I just now split this because this will be, this is 25 inches across. So I decided, well, we'll do 12.5 inches deep for our seats. These are going to be designed to have no backs, so they can slide under the table. Because this is a small space. So everything, this is going to get pulled out. Right now it's up against all that. So it's going to be floating out here. And we want to be able to put the chairs underneath. So they're not going to have backs. And they're going to have, they're not going to be huge, comfy seats either. They're going to be simple seats that we can move around and hopefully not be too heavy and be big enough for our tushies, but not overkill. So I'm sitting on this right now and just thinking, how am I going to do it? That's the next step. All right, guys, after 5, I didn't get started till, 10 something or 11? But it's crazy how long it takes me to do this. But I've done 4.5. I think they look pretty good, and I think they're nice and strong. Should work well. It's also crazy how I have no clue about how many screws and brackets that I use. These brackets are about $1.50 or $1.60 a piece, something like that, these black ones. And I bought a box of 90 and I already went through them. And then after I got to looking, counting these, I have 20 of them per chair, and that means I have 40 screws per chair. So I ran out of screws. I had a box of 90 and another box of almost 90 that I'd finished up on the table over here. I had no idea. So tomorrow morning I'll go to Home Depot and buy some more. The things that don't cost a lot of money I had plenty of, which is wood. The wood, I'm going to return 4 pieces actually. I got 2 2x3s and 2 2x2s out here in the truck I'm going to return. And I'm going to keep 2 of each right here. I bought 6, which means, excuse me, I've only used 2 2x3s to do basically 5 chairs, and I used 2 2x2s to do 2 chairs, or 4 chairs, I'm sorry. So I have 2.5 2x2s left. So I'm thinking that should be able to do, I basically have 4 chairs to do with that. Plus I'm going to be making myself an office chair that's going to be a little bit higher. So anyway, that's where we're at. Day went by so fast, and I would have stayed and kept going, but ran out of stuff. So we will see you guys tomorrow, most likely. I'll be back out here continuing those chairs. I was going to come out here as well, and she sanded all where the couches are going to be, and she was going to come out and seal it. But since I was already here, instead of her having to come all the way out just to do that, I just sealed it as well. So I sealed it with the cheap stuff. She'll seal it tomorrow with the expensive stuff. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, been a couple days since I filmed anything. This is where we're at. I made 8 chairs to go underneath the table, and they can also double as little tables to go in front of the couch. I'd ran out of material, so I made 1 more. Valentina already sanded all these and sealed them. The small one will be the 8th one, so there'll be 6 around that table. The big one will go underneath here, because this is going to be a desk. Computer and stuff will be there, so it needed to be a little bit bigger. And I don't know if you remembered, but we had green 4x4s. We were going to paint these this color. We were going to paint the legs, but Valentina thought that these turned out so beautifully that she wanted the table to look the same. So I had to remove these because we thought we were going to paint them, so it didn't matter. But now that we're not painting them, we'll leave it raw. I had to come up with a plan. And it took me a bit to figure an idea out, but what I did was I took 2 2x3s and put them inside, and then 1x4s against. It worked out perfect that I didn't have to rip anything. It's the right size, and I had to move the outside bracket and the inside bracket this way to make these line up centered. So these screws will go, the 2x3s are about a gap like this between, so these screws went through this and into the 2x3. So it's pretty steady, it's pretty strong, yet a little bit lighter than those were. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna have some carrot cake and a Coke. And then I'll start working on the frame for the couch over here.